and that is 100% only because I failed to actually count out this space properly and ended up with an extra box. Hello again team, it's Jess or JashiiCorrin, and welcome back for my week 2 plan with me for 2020. In today's video, I'm going to be setting up for the week of the 6th through to the 12th of January. But before we get into that, as per usual, we're just going to have a look at how this week is going. So whenever I start a new journal, I like to make it a clean start. And by that I mean I like to start whatever week I'm doing on the 1st of January. This means that I don't typically include days from the previous year in my first weekly setup, which is why this one starts on a Wednesday. Of course, on this one though, I did want to do some little trackers, and it looked a little bit odd to have those start on a Wednesday, so I did include Monday, Tuesday on those. You may also notice that I have a little space down here for next week, and that is 100% only because I failed to actually count out this space properly and ended up with an extra box. So along with my sections for my events and top priorities for each day, I have a section for a task list, my little trackers, and then a successes, challenges, improvement section, notes, and a little space here for the things I'm doing in terms of leisure time. These two little boxes that I have up the top here are so that I can check off when I've completed this week. So when I come to migrate the tasks from this spread over to my next one or other places in my journal, once I've 100% done each of these pages, I can give a little check mark in each of those boxes. I have been enjoying this layout, so I'm going to do something similar but a little bit different for next week, given the fact that we're going to have 7 days, not just 5. As per usual, any of the equipment I use in today's setup is linked in the description box below. Because apologising in my plan with me seems to be kind of a trend, sorry I didn't get a plan with me up for the first week of 2020. By the time that I actually remembered that I needed to do one, and then actually sketched out what I was going to do, and just in general being in a bit of a weird mood, the filming of that one just didn't end up happening. As promised though, I do want to get back into answering questions in these Plan With Me's, and a question that was left on week 52's Plan With Me came from Kara. In their comment, Kara asked, I know you talk about chores a lot. Do you have an annual chore list, chart, graph, or tracker thing? Well, I used to, and I'll just show you why I don't anymore. So the first time I tried to make a cleaning list or chore kind of roster was back in 2017, when I was about 2 months into bullet journaling, so into my first bullet journal. This one was in an LT 1917, which has 13 centimeters across, which meant that I could very nicely fit 52 weeks across 4 lines, if I had a space for the number for the week and a space to check off whether the task actually happened. Of course, I didn't put a key on this page, but I'm pretty sure that purple was me, because purple's my favourite colour, pink was Vogel, and then a box with a cross through it was that it did not happen. Anywhere that had a black line like this was a week that we elected not to do that, probably because we were away. But considering how full the spread is, you can see how well this one turned out. I don't dislike this spread, there's absolutely nothing wrong with it. I just never came back to check things off because I never did the chores. The only one I was mildly successful on was the washing, drying, and putting away of my clothes. And even then, a lot of these are half filled in because I would never put them away. Along with the weekly chores, we also had things I wanted to do daily, which were going to be tracked in my habit trackers, things that we wanted to do monthly, and things that we wanted to do seasonally. But again, they didn't really get done, and this spread did not work for me. I did try again, however. In 2018, I went with this spread, so we had it all on one page, and instead of actually writing out all the numbers for the weeks, I just put in little squares. So again, because there's 13 centimeters across, that's 26 spaces across, which means in 2 lines you can get 52 spaces. For this one I was smart enough to actually include a key, so for me I was in pink, Vogel was in blue. If we both completed that chore or both helped out, that was a purple one, and if neither of us did it then it was grey. This one I did use more, but there were a couple of issues. One, I had to keep counting the number of squares across because I wouldn't fill this one in consistently, so I didn't necessarily know which week was which square. Secondly, again, my chore completion was pretty poor. If we just have a look at this one, instead of having wash, dry, and put away my laundry, I just made it put away my laundry. Because washing and drying I always do, but the putting away never really became a habit until earlier last year. As you can see from this, it's very much Vogel who does the majority of the chores in our house, with a little teeny tiny sprinkling of my completion, and then of course I'm not going to get him to do my laundry, so me down here. In this one I also did try to make it easier on myself by penciling in certain days of the week that I wanted these chores to be done, but again, it didn't really work out. I have contemplated using another yearly tracker for my chores, but at this stage I'm just making my peace with putting them on my monthly calendar. I feel like I'm going to be more inclined to actually get them done if they're scheduled on specific days on my monthly log. Thank you for your question though, Kara, and if anybody has any questions they want me to answer in next week's plan with me, please do leave them in the comment section below. In terms of this week's setup, one of the things I really like about it is that it's really just a bunch of ruled lines. You guys know I love my ruler, and I love the idea of layouts that are easy to create and still visually effective. After having such a bright and colourful month for December as well, I'm actually quite enjoying the monochromatic stuff that I've got going on for January. I don't typically do a lot of black and white spreads, so experimenting with that this month has been enjoyable so far. I'm always curious with new layouts that I'm trying for the first time, as to what they're actually going to look like when they're filled in, and also how much I'll actually use them. But for this one, it won't be getting any tasks or events until I do my weekly review on Sunday. Alrighty, so as per last week, I have a section for my events and tasks, a little bit of a change on the sizing just because I have a couple more days. I still have my water steps and mood trackers, a space for my successes, challenges and improvements, the things that I'm doing for leisure and notes, but again, the sizes have changed a little bit. Obviously at the time of filming this video, I've only actually been using this spread for, well, 2 days, so I am interested to see how it's going at the end of this Sunday. Typically at this point I'd go and add in any tasks and events I know I have coming up, but as I mentioned before, I'm going to be waiting until I do my weekly review to actually put those things in. Thank you for watching though, team. If you liked today's video, please do make sure to give it a big thumbs up, and if you wanted to see more from me, feel free to go check out one of my other videos. Until next time, bye!